I wasn't meant to be a bushranger, but I had nothing left. My name was Captain Moonlite. I was a preacher once, spoke of God, of right and wrong. But none of that saved me. They accused me, locked me away. And when I came out, I wasn't the same man. I found someone who gave my life meaning again. But the world, it took that from me too. So I picked up a gun. Not for gold, not for fame, but because I had nothing left to lose. At Wantabadgery, we held them off. Hours, bullets flying. And I watched my boys fall one by one. I held him as he died. And in that moment, I knew this was the end of me. They called me a criminal, a killer, but I was just a man who lost everything. We took Wantabadgery, but not for gold. They say we were just thieves, but that's not why we took Wantabadgery. My name's Andrew Scott. They called me Captain Moonlite. We didn't ride in screaming. We rode in quiet. Men who had nothing left. Don't fear anything anymore. We took the whole station. Every room. Every man inside. But we didn't hurt them. We ate with them. Spoke like civil men. Shared their fire. Because this was never just about money. It was about being heard. About showing them what they'd made us. They'll tell you it ended in fear. But fear was already there. We just brought it to their door.
We rob them, then thank them. You ever been robbed, politely? I'm Lawrence Kavanagh. Riding with Martin Cash and the boys. We didn't just rob people. We made it memorable. One day we stop a mail coach, driver shaken, passengers frozen. They thought we were about to kill them. Cash tips his hat, says nice and easy, and no one gets hurt. We take the money. Then he thanks them, like we're doing them a favor. One bloke even laughed. Couldn't believe it. Robbed and still treated better than the guards ever did. That's the thing about us. We weren't the worst men in the bush. Just the best at it.
They locked me up, and even the guards were scared to come near me. My name's Mark Jeffrey, one of the worst convicts they ever shipped to Australia. Chains, cells, didn't matter. I wasn't trapped in there with them. They were trapped in there with me. I fought guards, smashed cells, refused orders. They flogged me, again and again. But I never broke. They started keeping their distance. Wouldn't come near my cell unless they had to. Some of them wouldn't even look me in the eye. You think prison makes a man weak? It doesn't. It shows you who you really are. And me. I became the man even the guards feared. But the truth is, they had a reason to be afraid.
My name's Martin Cash, and we owned every road in the colony. Every mail coach carried gold, weapons, supplies, and we needed it. So we chose the ground. Long roads, thick bush, no escape. One man stops the horses. We step out, guns up. Step down. They hand it over. Gold, guns, food, and before anyone moves, we're gone. They sent soldiers. We robbed the next one.
Ned Kelly's first farm raid before he became famous. Before the bank robberies, Ned Kelly was already stealing horses from farms across Victoria. In the 1870s, the Kelly family were poor Irish settlers near Greta. Police constantly harassed them, accusing them of crimes. But Ned had a different plan to survive. At night, Ned and his gang rode to isolated farms. They would quietly cut horses from paddocks, drive them into the bush, then rebrand the animals with new marks. Stolen horses could be sold far away for good money. Farmers woke up to empty fields. Why he did it Well, for Ned, it wasn't just crime. He believed the police and wealthy landowners were stacked against poor selectors like his family, so horse stealing became his way of fighting back. But these early raids put Ned on the police radar. Within a few years, those small farm thefts would explode into one of Australia's most famous outlaw stories.
He said I didn't make it out. He lied. Martin Cash says I didn't make it out. That's not what happened. My name's George Jones. And if you heard his story, you only heard half of it. We escaped together, same as he told you. Same bush, same hunger, same fear. But what he didn't tell you, he was already thinking about surviving alone. He started watching me different, waiting. That night, we had one chance left, one way out, and only enough for one of us. He says I didn't make it out. But the truth is, I let him go. And what he did after that proves exactly what kind of man he really was.
I didn't start as a monster, but they made me one. You ever been hunted like an animal? I was a convict, sent to Van Diemen's Land, chains, whips, no way out. So I ran. Not alone. I built a gang. And soon, they weren't hunting a man anymore. They were hunting me, Michael Howe. We robbed settlers, raided farms, and vanished into the bush like ghosts. But every night, they got closer. Soldiers, trackers, dogs. One night, they surrounded us. I thought it was over. So I did the only thing left. I fought my way out. And from that moment on, they didn't call me a convict anymore. They called me the most dangerous man in Tasmania.
There was a night we should have died, and we knew it. Name's Martin Cash, and by then, every soldier in Van Diemen's Land was hunting us. We were deep in the bush, no food, no way out. Then we saw them, redcoats closing in, not one or two, dozens. Guns ready, dogs tracking us. We weren't escaping this, so we didn't run. We waited, silent, let them walk straight past us in the dark, close enough to hear them breathe. That night, we didn't win. We just survived. I was never afraid of soldiers. But there was one thing that nearly broke me. A woman. Name's Martin Cash. And by then, I'd robbed men, escaped prisons, survived the bush. Nothing scared me. Not chains, not guns. But she did. Because, for the first time, I had something to lose. Every robbery, every chase, it wasn't just my life on the line anymore. One mistake, and I'd never see her again. And in the end, it wasn't the soldiers that stopped me. It was the life I wanted, more than the one I had.
They called me Thunderbolt, but I never wanted to be a killer. I was born Frederick Ward, just a bush kid trying to survive. Then they locked me up. Chains, guards, no way out. But I wasn't staying there. I broke free, vanished into the bush. No home, no future. Just a horse and the open country. They say bushrangers are monsters. But I never robbed this man of everything. Gold, watches, maybe a horse. But I let them live. I didn't need fear. I had the land, and I wasn't alone. Marianne, she rode with me. Helped me stay ahead when the whole colony wanted me dead. 7 years. Outrunning every trooper they sent. Not by force, by thinking faster than them. And in the end, it only took one mistake.
They locked me up again. It didn't matter. My name is William Westwood. They called me Jackie. I wasn't meant to escape, but I always did. I watched the guards learn their steps, waited For the moment they got careless. One mistake, that's all it takes. And then I was gone. Back into the bush, where they couldn't control me. They always came looking, but they never learned. Would you run or stay locked up?
I robbed a shop once, and the owner thanked me. Yeah, you heard that right. Name's Martin Cash, and in the 1840s I was one of the most wanted men in Van Diemen's Land. One night I walked straight into a store, pistol ready, expecting a fight, but the owner didn't move and he didn't shout, he just stared. So I told him, I'll take your money, but no one gets hurt. Then I did something most bushrangers didn't. I paid him. For what? He took extra. Before I left, I even warned him. Lock up better. Next man won't be like me. He nodded and said, thank you. That's why they didn't just fear me. They called me the gentleman bushranger.
Did you know a convict once stole a British ship and sailed it across the Pacific? In 1829, a convict named William Swallow was imprisoned in Van Diemen's Land. But Swallow was a skilled sailor. When he was put aboard the prison brig Cyprus, he and other convicts launched a mutiny. They seized the ship and sailed away. Instead of being caught quickly, Swallow commanded the stolen vessel across the Pacific, visiting New Zealand, Tahiti, and even reaching Japan. For months, the escaped convicts lived like pirates. Eventually, Swallow was captured and taken to London. But in a shocking twist, a British court acquitted him of piracy. The convict who stole a ship walked free. And if you want to see more, think about subscribing so you never miss a video. I have a new short every day at 6 a.m. Perth time.